The palace bells ring. The world watches. And Spain holds its breath. A royal wedding, expected to be perfect. But what unfolded inside was beyond perfection. Because this wasn't just a wedding. It was transformation. It was love, duty, and destiny, colliding in one unforgettable moment. Inside the glamour, emotions ran deeper than gold. Behind the sparkle, stories untold began to surface. And at the center of it all stood Princess Leonor, Spain's future queen, radiant, poised, yet visibly human. This is what really happened inside the royal wedding. From the first light of dawn, Madrid was alive. Streets bloomed with flags, balconies draped in crimson and gold. The sound of horses echoed down the royal avenue as thousands gathered, faces lifted to the sky, waiting for a glimpse of history. Inside the palace, the air was electric. The soft hum of preparation filled every corner, the sound of dresses being adjusted, footsteps echoing through marble corridors, whispers between ladies in waiting. And there she was, Princess Leonor, in her private chamber, surrounded by mirrors that reflected not just her beauty, but her destiny. The gown shimmered like moonlight. Handcrafted lace, threaded with Spanish gold, flowing like quiet fire. But what caught everyone's breath wasn't the dress, it was her calm. That serene, almost sacred stillness that comes before history changes forever. Her mother, Queen Letizia, entered quietly. For a moment, mother and daughter stood in silence. No words, just the soft sound of fabric moving, and the emotion that filled the space between them. Letizia's eyes glistened. She had guided Leonor from birth to this moment. From a young girl carrying books to school, to a future queen walking toward her crown. She reached forward, fixing a strand of Leonor's hair, whispering something that no microphone could catch, only the love between a mother and daughter could understand. Then came the moment of truth. The doors opened, the music began, and the world saw her. Gasps filled the air, cameras flashed. The Spanish anthem soared through the cathedral as Leonor stepped forward, her every movement echoing centuries of royal tradition. But she wasn't walking in someone else's shadow. This was her own path, her own story. The prince, her fiancé, waited at the altar. His face a mixture of awe and disbelief. He wasn't looking at a monarch-to-be. He was looking at the woman he loved. And yet, beyond the love story, there was something deeper unfolding. Every royal wedding carries a silent narrative, the struggle between heart and duty. Between tradition and change. And this one was no different. The ceremony was regal, but human moments broke through the protocol. A tremor in Leonor's voice as she spoke her vows. A smile between her and her sister, Sophia, who stood beside her with tears in her eyes. A discreet touch between Leonor and her father, King Felipe, as he handed her the royal ring, a gesture heavy with meaning. It was a passing of the torch. From king to heir, from past to future. The archbishop's words carried across the hall. In this union, the kingdom finds renewal. But it wasn't just Spain that was watching. Across Europe, royal families from Denmark, the UK, Norway, and the Netherlands looked on. Each face in that queue reflected something different: admiration, nostalgia, respect. Because in Leonor, they saw the new face of monarchy. Young, educated, compassionate, real. As the couple exchanged rings, the cameras zoomed in, and captured something that no script could plan. Leonor's eyes filled with tears. Not sadness, not pressure, but gratitude. A quiet, unfiltered emotion that rippled across the cathedral. The world saw it, the crowd felt it, and for a moment, Spain forgot politics, divisions, and doubts. They saw their princess not as a royal, but as a woman stepping fully into her own truth. Then came the roar. As the newlyweds exited, the bells of Madrid burst into song. The streets erupted. Confetti rained. The air shook with cheers. People shouted her name. Children waved flags. And Spain, for the first time in years, felt united under one feeling: pride. But the story didn't end there. The reception, held in the grand ballroom, revealed another layer of the royal world. The opulence was dazzling. Crystal chandeliers, white roses, a gold-embroidered table that stretched across the hall. But amidst all the glamour, the true magic came from the smaller moments. Leonor dancing with her father. Felipe whispering something that made her laugh through her tears. Letizia, watching from the corner, holding Sophia's hand as music filled the hall. Each moment told a story. Each gesture echoed the legacy they were building. Guests from around the world were captivated. Leaders, royals, dignitaries, all whispering the same thing: Spain's future is in safe hands. Even the Queen of Denmark leaned toward Letizia, saying softly, she was born for this. And yet, beneath all the praise and admiration, Leonor remained humble. She thanked the orchestra, hugged the palace staff, smiled at every guest as though she had known them her whole life. The mark of a true queen, not just ruling with power, but with presence. Later that evening, as fireworks painted the Spanish sky, Leonor and her husband stepped onto the balcony. The city below was glowing. The cheers rose again, and there it was, the sound of a people in love with their future. The cameras captured that final moment, Leonor turning to her husband, whispering, "This isn't the end. It's the beginning." And the nation knew, she was right. Because beneath the glamour, beyond the jewels and the headlines, this wedding wasn't just a royal affair. It was a declaration, a promise that Spain's monarchy would not fade into history, but evolve, led by a queen who understands the power of love, grace, and truth. As the music faded and the night deepened, the royal palace lights dimmed. Inside, the laughter of the family continued, soft, human, warm. A glimpse of royalty not seen on camera. Letizia and Felipe, sitting together, watching their daughter's joy. Sofia teasing Leonor playfully. The groom smiling shyly, overwhelmed by the day's grandeur. It was the kind of happiness that words can't describe, the kind that happens when a destiny is fulfilled. Outside, Spain slept under a sky still glowing from fireworks. But one thing had changed forever. The monarchy no longer felt distant. It felt alive. It felt young. It felt real. Princess Leonor's wedding wasn't just inside the glamour. It was inside the heart of a nation rediscovering its hope. Tears, smiles, cheers. A new chapter written not in gold, but in grace. And as dawn approached, one truth remained: Spain had not only witnessed a royal wedding. It had witnessed the rise of its queen.